Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Alright Seipher, we're ready.
Aladdin, I told you we'd find Jasmine for you, and we did. She's doing alright. She just can't come home yet. Don't give me that look. I can't take you to her. Look, you're just gonna have to be... patient? Aladdin? What's going on with Carpet? Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome back to Seipher Plays Kingdom Hearts. In the last episode, we returned to Neverland to ensure the world's safety following the completion of Hollow Bastion's Keyhole. In doing so, we were directed to the Clocktower by Tinkerbell, where we encountered the heartless specter of doom, the Phantom. Though he tried to reap our hearts, he ultimately came out on top, destroying him. This time, we've come back to Agrabah to inform Aladdin of Jasmine's safety, but we seem to have something going on with Carpet here. We will check into that, but before we do, I have one note on the events of the previous episode and some general advice for what we'll be doing today. In regards to the previous episode, there is one thing about the Phantom fight that I forgot to mention. You cannot use summons in that fight. This is largely due to summoning not being possible unless Sora is grounded, in addition to being... in addition to having the necessary MP and having both party members active. That said, Sora is able to land on the upper ledges of Big Ben, where he would be technically grounded even during the fight, so you might be thinking you can just quickly stop the clock using Stopra to keep the Phantom's Doom spell in check, then land and summon, say, Tinkerbell so that you can focus your MP on Firaga, Blizzaga, Thundaga, Stopra, and possibly Aeroga, and not having to waste it on Kiraga. This, however, is not the case, as summoning is disabled for the fight, at least in the PS2 version, as I haven't been able to check into the other versions, be it the Final Mix PS2 version, the Final Mix Remaster for the PS3, or the PS4. I mainly think that that summoning is disabled for that fight, mainly because of the Phantom's Doom spell and how it could technically interact with Tinkerbell's auto life feature. It could probably be problematic. I know that a similar instance it happens in a fight in the sequel to this game, Kingdom Hearts 2, where a certain summon there can't be used in one of the main fights as well. So it's a little... I suppose there is some precedence. Although it could also just be that the area that the fight takes place in, the Clocktower, is normally a safe zone where you can't encounter any enemies, so maybe they didn't code for that when adding the super boss at a later point. But that's a discussion for another time, I suppose. In any case, we have come back to Agrabah, and we do see that Carpet is freaking out. We do have a new thing to take on here, so I want to just go ahead and say to make sure you prepare your party as best as possible. I've added Aladdin to the party in place of Goofy, just because I want to show something off. This is probably not the best strategy for what we're going to be doing today, so it's going to add a bit of challenge, but hey, I'm all for it. Frankly, I probably need it, considering I'm pretty high level for this point. I've stocked up... well, I haven't touched Sora's items outside of the one Mega Ether that I used last episode. Stocked up Donald and Aladdin. I also traded around Aladdin's accessories, which actually I think I took off his accessories when we left at the end of Agrabah, the first visit. So now Aladdin has the Master Earring and Rune Armlet just to increase his AP, defense, HP, and MP, just so they can have a bit more play in this fight. I would also recommend for your customized menu having Aeroga and Curaga, and whichever of the offensive spells that you like most, just avoid any advanced magic, as I don't think it'll be very helpful to you for what we've got coming up today. So, with all that said, let's talk to Carpet. What's the matter? You want to go somewhere? All right on the carpet. Okay, so the completion of Hollow Bastion's Keyhole has led to the creation of a very powerful mechanical monster. This is Kurt Ziza. Immediately you'll notice that I jumped straight into casting Aeroga as soon as I was able to take control in the fight. This is because the first move that Kurt Ziza uses is Silence, entering his Silence form, where he has 2 orbs in 2 of his hands. These contain our magic power. As long as those orbs exist, we cannot use any spells of any kind, so any healing that you need is going to have to come from either breaking his orbs or items. In this form, his main methods of attack are going to be jumping at you, swinging at you with his Kopeshas, and thrusting at you with them as well, until you eventually break the orbs, releasing your magic, and he is left in this stunned state. His head can attack you in this form, but it's not all that strong, and can be easily parried for some tech points. I'm actually going to take the chance to summon Tinkerbell, just because I haven't actually gotten to use her out of all the times that we've gone through this game, so I figured might as well show her off. I know that this kind of cheapens things a little, but might as well show her off. He is now in his barrier form. In this form, he is immune to physical attacks and will attack you with sandstorms while floating around. The only way to break his barrier is with magic, so you should just sort of go ham on attacking him. If you do attack him physically, you won't do any damage, but you will knock MP bubbles out of him, which can be helpful to restoring your magic to be able to actually take him on. Then come on. Alright, well, let's try... So yeah, eventually you'll break his barrier, and he'll be stuck in this stun state again. Just keep it up. He'll keep alternating back and forth. Just make sure you heal before he gets back up and enters his silence form, if you need to. Tinkerbell is definitely one of the best summons for this fight, just because of how tough he can be. However, Dumbo and Mushu can make very good work in the barrier form, as their invulnerability will definitely help. Well, Dumbo's invulnerability definitely helps, and Mushu's fire breath is really rapid fire and pretty strong for this point in the game, when at least I'm dealing with a single target. Otherwise, it's not all that strong. So yeah, now we're seeing a boss with Silence, and last time we saw a boss with Doom. What other Final Fantasy spells are we going to see the enemies wield against us? Oh, I didn't realize that he could drop Mega Potions, but that's one thing that I guess he can drop. So yeah, this is kind of why I don't summon Tinkerbell all that often. He makes the fights pretty trivial, but I wanted to show her off at least once, and this is the only boss that I actually have history of actually losing to with her on, so if it happens again, it'll show that I haven't really changed much since the last time I fought this guy. And really, this is the only time I'm going to be able to get to show her off, because the next two super bosses that we're going to have to fight take place in the Colosseum, and you can't use summons in the Colosseum. And then, after that, it's just the boss fight with Ansem, which I don't think that I'll need her to be able to deal with him. You know what? Let's... summon Mushu. Yes, you are Mushu.
Gotcha. See ya. See ya. Gotcha. Gotcha. This should help. See ya. Gotcha.
These light bullets are his main method of attack when in this barrier form, but shouldn't be all that difficult to deal with. Come on. Okay, I need to actually dismiss Mushu because he can't help me right now. And I had better actually heal Sora. Okay, maybe dismissing Tinkerbell wasn't the best idea.
This should help.
Okay, come on. Let me at that orb. Gotta back off.
Here.
Okay. One orb down. Just need to quickly take him out. Come on. Come on.
This should help.
Come on. Okay. Thankfully, that is done. Came a little closer than I would have liked. And for completing that, we get absolutely nothing. Joy. Sorry for not really going in depth on his attacks in the barrier form. I just sort of got caught up in keeping track of everything. However, for the final mix version, you do actually get something for that fight. Albeit, it's not all that great. In the final mix version for winning this fight, you get Ansem's Report 12. Yeah, Ansem's Report 12, which does give a bit more insight into Ansem as a character, but that is something for a bit later on, as we won't be reading the full report just yet. In addition, you also get the Zantetsuken ability. This ability, requiring 2 AP to equip, gives Sora a 30% chance to deliver a finishing blow that deals 250% of the enemy's HP after hitting the target. It's really quite strong, but given how late it comes in the game, it isn't all that practical. By this point, our strengths should be through the roof that we're typically dealing so much damage that we're not even getting to our finisher to take on regular mooks. And it only works on regular heartless, not bosses, so it's really not all that helpful. If it had come a lot sooner, like maybe back when we were in Deep Jungle at the latest, it probably would have been very helpful, but unfortunately not all that helpful with its current state. Beyond that, Kurtzisa is the first instance of a super boss that was actually added to the international release. The Phantom was, because it had these... the Phantom wasn't a super boss added to the international release. It was in the original Japanese release, but that is just because it was necessary for the Stopka upgrade. This, however, was completely added in, and you can tell that because of its name. Its name, Kurtzisa, it comes from a contest that was held as promotional material to promote the international release of the game 2 months prior to its release. Kurtzisa was named after Kurtzisa of Medford, New York, who won the Kingdom Hearts Name in a Game contest. A tiding of the era when the original Kingdom Hearts came out, and not the type of thing you'd probably see happen today. It also makes me wonder if they had committed to using the winner's name for the boss, given the short time between the contest and the international release. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kurtzisa actually kind of fits the name of, kind of fits the theme of the boss. It just sounds like something that would go with the whole Snakehead and Kopesh's, but I'm not sure if it would have worked out if someone else had won. But I suppose that's beside the point. Anyway, with that, we've conquered yet another super boss and ensured Agrabah's safety. But we're not done yet, as there are a number of things left for us at the Colosseum before we return to the end of the world to chase down Ansem. I won't be showing the solo run or time trial of the Hades Cup on screen, but with what I will be showing, I'm definitely going to need to complete those challenges. Next time, we return to Olympus Coliseum for the final. Sorry. I suppose I shouldn't actually say that. I won't be needing it because, frankly, Donald and Goofy won't be involved for that, but that's for later. Anyway, as I was saying, next time we will return to Olympus Coliseum for the first of the final battles that the arena has in store for us. I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.